Hi, 6th grade. Today we are moving on to 5.4, which is using ratios to convert measurements. It's May 19th, and we are going to be, this is review, doing a couple together, okay? If you remember, since we're converting, we are going to be using page 393. There's a table full of measurements. So that will help you get through our lesson today. So again, we're reviewing, so this is old stuff, but I do know that for some of you, this lesson in particular was tricky. So we're going to start with a hard one, just to help remind you, but they won't all be that hard. Okay. So if we start from 80 cups and we're supposed to go to gallons, that means we want to cancel out the cups and we want to be left with our answer in gallons. So if I look on page 393, it gives me a lot of information, but not necessarily going from straight cups to gallons. The internet can be helpful, but pretending I wasn't able to use that and I only had my book, if I start with 80 cups, 80C, and I put that over 1, right? We're using ratios, which are fractions. The ratio that they tell me in here is 2 cups is equal to 1 pint. And I want cups to cancel out. So that means 2 cups has to go on the bottom because I want the C's to cancel out. And that means 1 pint is going to go on top. But pint isn't gallons, right? I want gallons. So that means I now need to find out which ratio to use to cancel out pints. So if I continue looking just right underneath, it tells me 2 pints is equal to 1 quart. So now I need to figure out, where does 2 pints go? Should it go on the top or should it go on the bottom? Hopefully you said, or were thinking, it goes on the bottom because I need to cancel out pints. So 2 pints goes on the bottom and 1 quart goes on the top. Again, quart is not gallons, and that's what we want our answer in. So that means I'm going to have to use another ratio to help cancel out quarts. It tells me next that there are 4 quarts in 1 gallon. So 4 quarts needs to go on the bottom because I want quarts to cancel out, and gallon is left on top, 1 gallon. Gallon is what I want my answer to be in, so now I can begin my problem. So I'm not going to worry about numbers yet. I'm going to start with just the labels. So I had cups on top and on bottom, so those cancel out. I have pints on top and on bottom, so those cancel out. Quart on top and bottom, so those cancel out. I'm left with just gallons, so my answer is going to be in gallons. Now I can worry about the numbers. Luckily I have a lot of ones on the top. 1, 1, 1. Okay? Over here though, I have 80, and I've got some numbers on the bottom that I know go into 80. In fact, because I know that 4 times 2 is 8, I know I can get this down really far, right? And so I will. I'm going to do 2 first, half. If I cut 80 in half, right, 2 goes into itself once. 80 divided by 2 is 40. That's half of 80. And now 4 goes into itself once, and 4 goes into 40 10 times. 2 is all that's left on the bottom, and 2 goes into 10, so I can cancel it again. 2 goes into itself once, and 10 divided by 2 is 5. So my answer, 5 times 1 times 1 times 1 over 1 times 1 times 1 times 1 is just 5 gallons. 80 cups is equal to 5 gallons. Okay, so this one was a hard one. And not in the sense that you can't do it, because you can, but it had a few ratios to get to your end goal. And most of them won't be like that, okay? Here's a simpler one, 72 inches into feet. So if I start with 72 inches and I put it over 1, I'm going to use a ratio that will cancel out the inches and hopefully give me an answer, a top number, in feet. So I'm going to look back to page 393 and see if I can find something that tells me. And in fact, on the top of the right column is length, which gives me inches to feet. It says there are 12 inches in 1 foot. So am I going to put 12 inches on the top? I hope you thought no. If I multiply 12 inches by 72 inches, I'm going to get inches squared. I'm not going to get feet, right? I want an answer of feet. So that means I need my inches, my label of inches, to cancel out. In this one, I only needed one of the ratios to get to the answer in feet. I only needed one. Here, I needed 3. Okay? This time I only needed 1. And now I can multiply or divide. I know that 12 goes into 72. It goes in evenly. But even if I forgot, I could come over here and do some math. Maybe I'm going to guess 12 times 5. 12 times 5. 10, carry the 1, 60. So it needs to be bigger. 12 times 6. Well, that's 2. 72. So 12 goes into itself once, and 12 goes into 72 6 times. 6 times 1 is 6 feet, and 1 times 1 is 1. So 72 inches is equal to 6 feet. For homework tonight, you're going to do 5 or 6 problems just like this. Please be sure to show all of your work. I'll be looking. Make sure that your pictures are clear, okay? Some of you are sending me some fuzzy photos, so I will be giving you credit if I cannot see your work. We are on page 370 for your homework today. And we're going to be working on numbers 11 through 16, please. If you have any questions, let me know, and we can jump on for a Google Hangout at 2:15. Send me a message, and I'll set it up. All right, guys, good luck.